What's going on, everybody? This is the Wisdom Matrix, and this video is about... This video is going to be called something like, You Are Not the Thinker. Basically, what this means is that you... when it seems like you think thoughts, what's actually happening is that thoughts are happening and you are misidentifying them as you, or your ego is doing this. And there are many ways I can explain this, but I think I'll just give you a good example right now, a good little thought experiment. Try right now, say, I will not think a thought. I am not going to think a thought. How long does this take until a thought comes? And see if that thought, does that thought come from you? Or in other words, does it come because you want to think that thought, or because it just comes? The truth is that those thoughts just come automatically. You are not the thoughts. There is no thinker. You are not the thinker. You are the observer of the thoughts. The only reason why it seems like you are the thinker is because you give those thoughts a lot of attention. And this is why meditation is important, because when you meditate, a lot of people make the mistake of, thinking, well, when I meditate, I have to stop thinking, just silence all thoughts. Well, the truth is you may not be able to do this because, thoughts are not you. You are not the thinker. There's no thinker. A good channel, actually, a good YouTube channel that I've linked on Twitter before. I got just today. It's called Aaron. I don't know how to spell it. Abke. He talks about this in some ways. But the reason why I'm mentioning it is because I think it's important to understand it. And this is how you realize, wait, maybe I can't control my thoughts. But what you can do, you can control them to some extent, don't get me wrong, but for the most part, you can't. What you can do, though, is you can, give those thoughts attention, which is why it seems like there is a thinker. That is you. It's because you give these thoughts attention. It's because you're identified with your mind or your body or your past or some idea of you as, something like you define yourself based on the past or whatever it is, for the most part. And this is why it seems like you have control over your life. You do have control. The control you have is in where is basically in deciding what you want to give your attention to. Intention or attention or anything like that. Anything else is pretty much, well, not necessarily impossible, but it's not, it's not feasible, especially if you're not, you haven't been meditating for a while, or you haven't been doing spiritual practices for a while or whatever. You're not going to be able to control a whole lot. Even when you do enter these stages, what's actually happening is that you're not actually controlling these thoughts. You're just not paying them mind. They're not paying them, you're not giving them a whole lot of attention. So, whenever you're meditating and thoughts come up or whatever, see if you can notice, see if these thoughts are coming because of you, or they're just coming because. There's a lot there's a lot that could be said about this, but I think I'll just leave it there for now. There's a lot more that I could talk about here, but like I said, I think I'll just leave it here. I might make another video in the future about something similar, or topics that are related to this. But for now, I'll just leave it here. This is the Wisdom Matrix, and see you in the next video.